Microphone check. Microphone check. Therapy Without a Degree, chapter 187.
Sweet.
Chapter 187. We got Nat here.
I know.
What's up, Nat?
How are you?
Good.
I'm happy.
I like the hat. Even though I don't like the Mets, I like the hat.
I just needed a hat.
I
don't know sports. If somebody was like, go Mets, I would have been like, yes.
Yeah, right. That team.
This guy's the same thing. He'd be wearing the Knicks, and he's like, "No, I'm not a Knicks fan."
Oh yeah, I'm not a Knicks fan, but it's my uncle's hoodie, so I just be rocking that.
Word. But what's up, Zane?
I'm chilling, man.
Word. We have a very special guest in the building. What's going on? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Marilee Blair. I'm with the Design Your Happiness podcast, and I'm so happy to be here today with Therapy Without a Degree.
Yes. So you want to tell the people where you are from, where you're located? Because we're doing this virtual. You're not in Jersey. Where are you from?
Yes, I'm in sunny California, San Diego, but it's actually not sunny today. It's actually raining, but for the most part, it's sunny San Diego. That's where I am.
Yeah, they say San Diego's like, I think, the best place in the world, right? Supposedly, it's like on
It's really amazing. Yeah. I mean, so I'm originally from the Bay Area. I'm from NorCal, and it's very different than San Diego. We actually get rain a lot more than San Diego does, and I always thought I'd move back, but I fell in love with Southern California so much. Like, the people are so nice. Everyone's so laid back. Everyone's so happy because the weather is nice year round. You know, people are always out walking their dogs or running. Like, everyone's just out. Everyone's at the beaches, even though the water's really cold. But it's just a great place to live.
Yeah, that's the vibe. That's I'm trying, yo.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, come.
I'm leaving y'all for the winters.
I feel that. You're gonna have a summer home.
I believe you. No, listen, I have to stay, but it's okay. I'll write you postcards from Puerto Rico.
I'm used to the cold. I was like, I at this point, it's like it made me who I am today.
I'm good.
A reflection of my soul.
Nah, I'm good, yo. Like, every year, I just get more and more sick of it because of the simple things, like you said. I just want to walk my dog, yo. Like, and not be freezing. Like, no, I'm good. So soon, once I can have enough to pay rent here and pay rent somewhere else, we do it. Y'all gotta get to know. Y'all gonna be doing virtual with me. we gotta get this.
I can see that happening.
See that? So that's the future. I'm gonna be with her. I'm gonna be. Happiness, right? I'm trying to design my happiness and go over there.
Yeah, it's happening.
So, tell us a little bit about what is Design Your Happiness.
So Design Your Happiness is about, I created it because I wanted to have a platform that I could help empower, inspire, and kind of keep that positivity for people and be real. And I had been told, like, when I was younger that, Marilee, I just wish I could have you in my pocket because you put my bad mood into a good mood, or you're there to listen to me vent. And I wish I could take you with me. So that's kind of part of why I decided to create it. And I also had a background in media. So I used to do reporting with news. I was interning here in San Diego with Channel 10 News. And then I interned with the CW, and then Palomar College, they actually have a live television show. So they go live every Tuesday on Channel 16, like at 6 p.m. And so they have North County News and Prep Sports Live. So North County News is an actual news show where you learn how to shoot, edit, and write your own material. And then you'll trade off where you'll do news packages. You could be an anchor, or you're just going to go live in the studio. And then the Prep Sports Live is you report on high school football highlights. So I did that because at the time I wanted to be a news reporter. So I wanted to learn everything. And my mentor at the time, Joe Little, he's a big news reporter here in San Diego. And he's like, Marilee, if you want to make it as a news reporter, you need to learn how to shoot, edit, and write everything. You know, people don't hold the video camera for you anymore. You have to figure out how to do it. You have to write your whole news package. You have to do your voiceovers. And so at the time, that's what I wanted to do. And then, but the real thing is I wanted to be an entertainment reporter, and I wasn't in love with news. And so it had been, I think it's been 10 years. And so when the pandemic happened last year, I was trying to think like, how can I get back into media, but not news, and then how can I inspire? And so I actually was listening to Lori Harder's Earn Your Happy podcast, and I felt like she was talking to me because she said, hey, what are you going to do in this pandemic? Are you going to create something? Like, what are you going to do? And I was like, oh my God, she's talking to me. And I was like, you know what? I want to start a podcast. It's time. People have been finding my old YouTube videos. Like, I need to do something about, bringing inspiration to people. So I just decided like, hey, I'm going to do this podcast. I told my husband, and he was like, yeah, you have to do it. You're meant for this. He bought me a Yeti microphone. He helped me with my website. So I had to actually, make it go live really fast. And here we are. And it's amazing because and I know you feel this way, Joe, it's about all the people that you can help. Like, it's not just about, like being the face, it's about how you can serve others. And so to kind of hear the feedback of how it's helping people in their lives I'm going to do it no matter what, forever.
That's powerful. Yeah, that is really, really cool. Mr. Zan over here, he's the man, the main media man with the camera.
Hello. Did you ever feel like it was like a lot of work when you started to do your own content?
It's a lot of work. I definitely felt that way. I think a lot of it came back to me because it was a lot for news, because it's just so much time and then editing. And I think for this, I was trying to stick to audio, right? And then but then I got comfortable with it. I was like, oh, this is so easy. No one can see me. I'm in my sweats. I don't have to put makeup on, And then my husband and my brother-in-law was like, Marilee, you wanted to get back into media. You need to get your face. Like, you need to bring your podcast to YouTube. Like, and then they kept telling me about Joe Rogan. Don't you know Joe Rogan just signed this $1 million contract and he's doing on YouTube, and you're missing a whole demographic. So right now I'm also working on launching the YouTube. So I'm going to do that hopefully either this month or next month. And I know I've been putting it off because it's harder. It's even harder than just doing the audio. So it's like I got comfortable, but now it's time for a new challenge, and I have to do it because I have to serve more people.
Right. Now, when you started to do your videos, what was did you use a phone or did you have like a camera? Like some people get so overwhelmed and like how they like record themselves. Did you like put on your TV personality, or did you bring in your real self to the camera?
That's so crazy. I brought my real self. I just used my phone, and I didn't exactly know what I was going to say, but I just used the first take actually from my very first episode, and I just talked, from the heart. And it's probably not perfect compared to my other episodes, which I think no first episode ever is, but yeah, I just the phone, the Yeti, and then from the heart.
Awesome. No, that's dope.
That's how you got to do it though. Sometimes the best content comes out like that.
Was it like that for you guys too? In your very first episode?
Shit, my first episode recorded on the phone. The audio on the phone. I had the Yeti, but we didn't have we didn't. I think we had the Yeti.
You had the Yeti because I remember. And then
I had the Yeti. The Yeti was my first microphone too. But the very first episode, I just think I couldn't get it to work yet. Or I didn't have I couldn't, it wasn't working properly for the very first one. Then by like the second episode, so all in due process. And then we didn't really do video until it took a while, 2 years in, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's been a journey. This is like 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing.
Thank you.
It's just about starting, right? Like just the starting.
Yeah, you actually have to just start the process.
Yeah.
So for you, how do you design your happiness? Tell us. Like, I want to know the secrets. How can I design my happiness?
So the way that for me, I try to think of all the things that make me happy. So exercise is my everything. Like I have to exercise because I get so many endorphins and it just like it makes me so happy and it just I don't know, it brings out like this energy in me. So that's like the thing that I can't live without. Like I have to exercise every day and then I have to listen to really good music. And that's the thing I love about music is it caters to every mood. And because I think what's important for people to know that it's okay to go through hard times and actually feel those emotions because that's how you get to be happy. And so I try to focus on all my goals and everything that I want to achieve, and traveling is something that I think about all the time. That really is like such a big part of my happiness. And I know it kind of changed a little bit with I used to like love to go internationally travel every year. So like something that was like a big achievement of mine was I hit 50 countries by the time I turned 32. And that was like a really big goal to me because travel, I like breathe it, think it, sleep it. I'm like, where am I going next?
How many countries?
50.
Jesus. I was like,
50 by the time she's 32.
By the time
I only been to like maybe one. That was about it.
But that it's just like part of my happiness, and so I work towards it. And so I've had to get creative. So now I just what helps me, like I like having something to look forward to somewhere else. Like I love San Diego, but I like to explore. And so right now I'm just like, okay, I can take staycations, I can go somewhere else, and even if it's for a weekend, just go like once every month. So I always have something to look forward to, so something different. That way I can still learn about somewhere else or another culture, or just that's part of the reason why I love traveling, is just you learn about so much more and you realize like how small you are in the world, and then it humbles you too for all you have. So yeah, so it keeps me very happy and humble. And my mom immigrated here from the Philippines, and the Philippines is a third world country, so it's a very poor country. And so I think by her introducing me to travel when I was little, at least seeing her country, it helped me appreciate all I have. So I try to always remember that, because it could always be worse, because they don't have very much in the Philippines, especially the poor parts and the provinces. So that's helped me a lot. And then I think the last thing is my mother has helped me so much in my mindset and positivity. I don't know what I would do without that woman. She my parents got divorced. My father's not a very good person, and if it wasn't for that woman to pull me through the darkest time in my life, she's made me who I am. And she always has reminded me about the secret, about the laws of attraction. She said, Marilee, you can have anything you want in your life, and, go through the emotions, but, do what makes you happy. So that's truly how I design my happiness, is, focusing on what I have to be happy. There's so many things, all my loved ones, traveling, and just new experiences.
That's powerful. That is powerful. So mom is the one that really, really inspired that, like, do what just makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
Does she do a lot of that for herself?
She does. I think for a long time, though, she did so much for everybody else because she was a single mom, and my dad tried to take everything from her, right, financially. And the thing he couldn't take was her education. So as much as he tried to take everything, she had her education, and she's a nurse. And so she just had to go back to nursing, and he didn't give her anything. She had to raise 2 girls by herself and kind of figure everything out. But she never, the amazing thing about her, she never showed weakness. And but I knew she needed me. So it made me grow up fast, because she keeps everything to herself, and she didn't tell people the pain that she went in. And then at one point I realized she needed to talk to me, not as a kid, but like as a co-parent, or as just like kind of helped me grow up faster. And and so she's always been like that though. It was her dream to come here to America. She always taught me, be financially independent, don't rely on a man because of what happened with my own father. And so she just inspired me so much. And even though she could have really been heartbroken, they were married for almost 23 years, but that woman, like she didn't waste any time. She just went back to work. She did what made her happy. Traveling makes her happy, and she loves us very much. She said the best thing that she got out of that marriage was me and my sister. And it's nice to see her happy still today. Like I finally convinced her to move to San Diego, and she's in a happy relationship. So it's awesome to see that she's getting everything that she's worked so hard for too.
Yeah, you kind of just delving into the things that makes your mother happy, and how that kind of transverses into you, and how it changes your perspective on happiness. I'm curious as to how, since you talked about getting back into media during the pandemic and kind of changing your shifting your gaze pretty much from audio to the whole shebang. So how do you feel like your perspective on happiness has changed since having to adapt to the life in a pandemic? Because I hear a lot of people talking about, well, I can't go out, and, going out is a big part of my happiness, or this and that is, and it's kind of stagnated a lot of people. So I am curious as to how, your happiness or feeding your happiness has changed since adapting to the life in pandemic.
I will say I've been paying attention to all the things I'm still allowed to do.
I agree.
So I know it keeps changing, but so there was a time where we were still allowed to go outside. We just have to wear our masks. And so I'm like, okay, then we're going to hike, like, cause I need to be out in nature. Or when the gyms were closed, I'm so grateful. My roommate is my personal trainer, and he can train me in our home gym.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like things like that. And I think probably the hardest part is I'm a very social person, and like I love to meet new people. And so I think it was a hard part, but then because of this podcast, I actually started meeting a lot of new people, like Joe. Like, it's like such an amazing thing. I was like, okay, by creating this, I've met so many new people, not in person, but virtually, and we've created these really amazing connections that I wouldn't have had I never designed the podcast. And so I think maybe that's what's helped me. I know that I don't do good staying in a sad state for too long. Like I'm a normal person, like I have to go through the emotions, but I can't stay in it too long, because I'm like, okay, I need to move forward. Like, what am I doing now? And so I think by focusing on everything that I'm allowed to do, I can do, that we could do staycations. Yes, I can't travel to Europe, but I can go to Temecula, or, we have a car, let's drive to Vegas or Arizona or things like that, and just take advantage of what's open. And
That's wonderful.
That's fine.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that.
Even in a pandemic, you still got to find your happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. Find your happy.
Zane, did you have anything on that?
No, I think you pretty much have a solid plan in terms of like your direction on happiness. Now, in terms of designing your happiness, if I wanted, what would be the process of designing my happiness? Like, what's like the first process I should kind of like start if I wanted to take steps into that?
I would say first focus on all the things, like make a list of every single thing that makes you happy in your life and that brings you joy. And even make a list of some of the things that don't, and figure out how you can stay away from the things that don't. Like maybe if it's people, for example, like we have different friends and family. If there's family and friends that you feel like you love them because they're your family and friends, but that they bring you down or they don't support you, then I recommend spend less time with those people, because at the end of the day, your mental health is the most important thing. And so I do feel it's important knowing what we don't want and what we can't handle, so that way we can get away from it to be happier, and then go back to that list of everything that makes you happy, and then keep doing those things and keep adding new things to your routine and keep learning new things. I feel like that's part of happiness too, is constantly learning, and but learning things that you're curious to learn, or maybe things that can help you, like I've heard a lot of people are very interested in Bitcoin, or or the stock or day trading. So it's like there's all these new things that can find us happiness, because knowledge is wealth, and it's nice to know like what else is out there, and what maybe if there's someone that you look up to too, like what have they done to get what has made them happy too. But I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is just doing everything that lights your soul on fire and makes you happy, and that you're like, yes, like I get to do this, or oh, I'm going to listen to this song loudly in the car, or this podcast, or I get to see this coworker, or just things like that put you in that like, yes, like mood.
Awesome. Now, my follow-up question is, since happiness is somewhat subjective, is there certain toxic happy things that people should be mindful of?
I think that's such a good question.
Because
what the same thing.
Yeah, because something happy to me might be really toxic that everybody sees. Like maybe you shouldn't be indulging in that. You know what I'm saying? Some people is like, yeah, I like to go out and drink and get blasted. Like that's their happiness. So like, what's your advice towards some toxic happy things that people like to indulge in?
Oh, that's a really good question. I guess I would say like people should really think about if they're doing that though to cover something up, like if there's some kind of deeper pain, and like, because I get that, like I love to go out too, but are you constantly like drinking or doing things where you can't remember for a deeper reason? Because do you really like to get blacked out like every day, or things like that? So I think there might really be something deeper going on, or if like people are like, oh, stealing makes me happy.
Right.
Hearing those types of things, I'm like, there really is something deeper going on. And I really would want that person or people to explore why they're doing that, and maybe seek some professional help, because those types of things are a little bit different, because they are a toxic happiness and toxic to the health. It's like everything's good, like in moderation with alcohol or going out and things like that. But when it can get to the point where it can negatively affect you, and where you can't remember things, or it affects your relationships with your loved ones, then it might not be the right type of happiness.
Right. And one last question. Now, do you believe based on that there should be a certain checklist, like, all right, this is what makes me happy, and then it kind of breaks down to, is this toxic for me or others, and then kind of breaks down, like, is that something that should be like implemented in terms of like designing your happiness?
Yes, absolutely. I love that. You said it perfectly. Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
You have to hire him.
Hire me.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that you said, that it should be about how it benefits you, and if it's something that helps you grow and to truly be the best version of yourself, then that's how you know it's something you should keep doing. If it's something that it affects all your relationships and it actually is making things decline in your life, then that's not the right type of happiness.
Got it. Thank you.
Shift. Shift. I just want to second what you said about like removing those people from your life or those things that don't make you happy. you know, that's one thing we've kind of talked about recently. Like we talked about the distant friendships and stuff like that, and friendships that go distance. But sometimes you got to deliberately do that on purpose. Like sometimes you need to make those relationships go distant. Like we were talking about on like the flip side, like when they just go distant. But also sometimes you need to do that, and it's hard. And I've done that over the last couple of years. Like even things that, at least me, I've been on that. Like even if they don't make me completely unhappy, if they don't make me happy, or if they bother me or they stress me out, if it's just that unnecessary stress, it's out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't got time for that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like we have enough bills, we have enough stress, we have enough adversity already that just life is going to happen to where it's like, if you're in control of changing it, like there's always things that we can't control, you know, like we can't control, you know, like if you get into a car accident or stuff like that, or someone passes away or whatever, like certain adversity you can't control. And that's okay. We're always going to have that. But at the same time, it's like, if you can control that, like, nah. So I've been real big on that. Like if there's people around me that just, you know, just call just to stress you out, or call and they're a burden on you, or try to just always just take up your ear and they're not adding no value or reciprocating that same positive energy towards you. It's like, it's hard.
But it's boundary setting,
right? Yeah.
It's boundary setting. You have to, in order to have that happiness, or even let's just say at the bare minimum, a sense of peace.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in order to have some kind of happiness, you need to have some kind of peace, some type of peace within yourself, or whatever that is. If it's a moment of silence, or just knowing that things are going to be okay, you kind of need that foundation. And if I can't have that with somebody, then what do you bring to me? It's not like you're an inanimate object that I can just throw away, right? Right?
Yeah.
And so there has to be some kind of a reasonable way to do this, you know, because it's one thing cutting somebody off, but it's another thing kind of being deliberate in setting those boundaries, or making that space between one another, because that could be something that could potentially be repaired if talked about, you know.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes you talk about it once,
twice,
you have to know, you have to have
third
that
time,
3 strikes, you're out.
Right.
And you know, I've had to learn, you have to do that sometimes. Like you kind of have to put people in there. I think a lot of times people, they just have everybody there. Like everybody's considered a friend, or all families considered family. Like, nah, like you need to kind of, like you said, like, nah, you need to maybe distance yourself from that person if they affect your peace, or don't even be afraid to not have them there at all. You know, like it's going to hurt sometimes, but sometimes you got to actually do it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it is
saying?
hard. It is hard. I've done it too, Joe, just like you. Like it's hard when you're friends with someone or you have the memories. So that's what a lot of people focus on. They're like, "Oh, but I have all these good memories." But the memories aren't good currently. And then kind of like what you were saying, Joe, like you get stressed out. So it's kind of like I kind of think of it this way. I'm like, if I'd rather hang out by myself, you know, like if I would have been happier alone than that conversation, that's kind of like a sign, you know, that like, oh, it's time. And sometimes it's hard because some people, like, no one likes a breakup, you know, whether it's a friendship, family, or a regular relationship. But sometimes it is hard, and we have to do what's best for us, even because sometimes some people can change and then some of them don't. Like for example, like, you know, some people that play victim. So I think it's so hard. Like I have love for everyone, but sometimes it's hard to be friends with someone that always finds the negative when you're trying so hard to find happiness in your life and achieve these things. And then they're like, that's great, you know, but I'm sad about this. And then it's like, what? But it's been like this for so many years, and I'm trying so hard to help you that now it's kind of coming into like my own mental health, and it's affecting my own happiness. And then you start to realize, like, I think I'm going to have to let this person go. And sometimes it's hard because they think you're being mean, and you're not. You want to help them, but now you're at a point where you can't. and we just have to take care of ourselves first, because we have to.
Yeah. And that's powerful
happy.
coming from, you know, someone like you as well. You know, I definitely feel like you're like the three of us in that sense of, you know, you want to help people and you're there to help people, but it's like you give it so many times, you know, and it's at that point you have to dip. So it's like, when is your kind of point of you're like, nah, you know what I mean? Like I've tried to help, you know what I'm saying? Because at first it was almost even difficult for me, because it's like, damn, okay, like I'm saying I'm this person, or I am this person that wants to help and stuff like that. We're back. So being that person that helps people, enjoys helping people, and puts himself out there, it's like, damn, like you almost feel bad. I almost felt bad sometimes, to that point of like letting that person go, when it comes to that point of like you not making those steps to change, or you're not doing that. So for you, what was that like? Was that easy for you to do, or to transition into that, or no?
It's been hard. It's taken me, so I'm 32, so it's taken me a long time to finally learn this. I honestly feel like it was last year that I finally got to this place where I feel like I'm in the best control of my boundaries, and I can still improve. But I think for a long time, I used to stay in friendships that didn't serve me anymore, and that were draining me, that I tried so hard, like really long time, like years. And then I started realizing that I can't give my everything to friendships when they're not trying so hard to change. And I think it's because I've been so focused on my personal development, and I've been finally better at venting myself. I think before I used to keep everything to myself, right? Like at least when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna keep everything to myself. But then I realized that's not healthy. Like you need to let it out, like vent to your friends. But I realized the difference between like venting and complaining. And so when I have friends that vent, okay, like you vent a relationship or anything going on, a loss, like I'll be there for you. But I think the hard part is when the vent turns to the complaint, and it's like this consistent complaint, and there's no action willing to be taken on their part. And I think that's when I start to get to a point now where I'm like, I've literally tried everything, you know, and before I used to go on the phone for hours and hours with some of my friends, and I realized this is a lot of time to be spending, you know, almost every other day, and nothing's changing. And so I think I've just realized, okay, that's not okay. Like be there for people, but realize like our own time. And so now I realize, okay, if it's kind of getting too much where the calling and the texting is a lot for me, like I'm trying to maintain, you know, like we're all busy, you know, we all have all these people. And so it's hard when it's like some people, they'll continue to contact you, but you also have all these other people and yourself to be there for. And sometimes people, when they're in pain, they're so focused on what they're feeling, they forget your own feelings or what you're going through, or the other, all these people that you have to be there for. And so I think that I'm starting to notice it now. Like if I'm venting about that particular person to my husband more than a few times, then it's not really a good friendship anymore. And so your
husband knows. He knows when it's time. He's like, nah, that person gotta go.
Like, this is the 5th time you telling me this. Listen, right. Why are you not telling them? And I'm like, why am I not telling them?
So what's y'all experiences with that? Because I think
when people come to you,
I think y'all have a good like point of where like, okay, you'll do enough to help. But then you're laughing. You fucking know. We're gonna him first because he's quick with you gotta go.
Oh man. Oh man.
That's so crazy.
I want to hear Nat's answer, but for me, I'm gonna start.
I love you, so please go first. Because you be straight up. And no, this is your time.
So my yeah, the lighting's good. Make sure I got my key lighting. But yeah, in regards to that, I like no, because I give a lot of people chances because I have a lot of conversation. I talk to people. So I'm one of those people, like, if I say, all right, for example, don't slap me on my back, I'm only giving you like 2 chances. If you slap me on my back again, then you're going to get cut off, because if I told you the first time and then you did it 2 more times, then I'm going to cut you off because you clearly don't care about my warning. Mm-hmm. So I have these conversations and people kind of overlook it. This is fun. I was like, all right, I guess you'll find out. And it's, oh, why are we not talking? Because remember that conversation we had? I was like, I'm not repeating myself over and over again. You're not a child, you're an adult. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of becomes redundant where I explain to you my boundaries and then you step all over it like a toddler. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't care. Like, we're not doing that. So I just kind of cut it off, because at the end of the day, I got to go to sleep. I can't just be, oh man, he keeps doing the same thing and it keeps bothering me. I have a lot on my mind daily. For me to add that to the plate, it's not happening, you know, especially if they're not one to pay the bills. I'm definitely not putting it on my plate. Mm-hmm. So they can go. But I don't, like, when I cut off, like, the reason why they joke on me is because there's like, that's it. There's no, oh, you know, sweet. No, once it's done, it's done. That's it. There's no take backs at that point. And then some people are like, oh man, I understand. And then that's it. So when I tell people that, they take it serious. Like, no, he cuts off people if they don't, you know, like, follow his boundaries, and then that's it. So then that's the kind of environment that you kind of create for yourself, so people don't mess with you. And that's pretty much it. So I just, it's pretty much, I set the boundaries and I enforce it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, you got to show up for yourself.
What about you now?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I'm a nonviolent person.
Right.
No, I do. I absolutely agree with you, because you have to show up for yourself.
Right.
At least first, you know, in when setting those boundaries and being like, you know what, listen. And specifically with the talking to friends and you know, kind of being at that point of ready to cut somebody off. In my experience, particularly a few times, you know, it happened where I'm realizing, very similar to what you were explaining, you know, this is happening over and over again, and there's something not right. There's something that this person needs to kind of handle internally that I can't add to. I'm just being futile at this point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if I continue to put this much energy into this, it's not serving me anything. This person may be very well better off, A, without me, and B, with somebody who's more equipped to handle the things that they may be going through.
Right.
And, you know, there is a way. It's like, you know, if this person continues to disrespect those boundaries, you know what, you're going to get the swift cutoff. But I think that if we have a long history, and we've had a history of being able to talk about these things, you know what, I may very well be able to say, hey, listen, you know, we need some space right now. And maybe you need to get some help, either talk with a therapist, or maybe talk to a couple other friends, get a second opinion, because you know what, I can't help you anymore. There's nothing that I can add. I've expressed my same feelings. I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over again. We're not helping each other. You know?
Right.
And I think at that point, when we're not adding any value to each other, we're better off walking away at that point. You know, so it doesn't always have to end in fireworks and flames. Right. It could be like breaking and kind of walking away is also, I think, a great sign of respect and another way to cross a golden bridge. You know what I'm saying? Because years down the line, that person may be able to express themselves a little bit differently with the help that they got, and maybe even apologize, or maybe even, you know, be able to give you some tools that they got, right? So I think it's about, especially in good friendships and long-term friendships, I think sharing tools is the difference between sharing tools and taking advantage of tools. Mm-hmm. I think maybe that's probably the difference. where we can share, we can build off of one another, and yet I'm not taking advantage of all of this knowledge that you have and then leaving you to go face my problems. Like, damn, you're drained now.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that to friends, people that you care about.
Right. Especially if you don't know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And then you just kind of pound
your
them,
stress
pound
could be
them.
the thing that breaks the camel's back.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we have to understand that there's ways that we can cause harm as well to other people and not even realize that we're causing that harm. So it's really, you know, impact is greater than intention. You know what I'm saying? So we might not, that we have to kind of start with, we don't have the soundboard.
I need mats. Yeah. I can start dropping these mics.
But,
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
So impact is greater than intention, because at the end of the day, you may have it's like saying like tough love doesn't work on everybody, right? You could give somebody tough love, but if that person has a background that may have been, you know, traumatic or abusive, whatever, that ain't tough love. You're being verbally abusive to this person,
right? And
your intention may have been well, but your impact hurt them. And so now you have to apologize for that impact. And the same goes with friends. And if I think we're good enough friends, we can apologize for these negative impacts that we've had on one another and then move on. But when we're not able to do that, not able to, like you said, take responsibility and look inward and being like, damn, I complained and talked about all this shit. Yo, what do you think I should do next? And your friend tells you what you should do next, or maybe what's the good thing, and then you don't do anything at all. Please put that back. Please put it back. I'll pour something for you. Please put it back. Thank you. Yeah, so, you know,
mom moment.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we should start all these relationships with respect. And I think once there is none, once there's a lack of boundaries, there's a lack of respect. And then it's hard to move forward from there.
Yo, some people don't even know.
No, like, you're right. You always go back to that, and I agree. Some people don't know, but I just be like,
yo, some people have no idea, yo. Like, I used to have a friend, and they'd be calling me and just like, yo, I was so underpaid in that friendship.
Underpaid friendship. That sounds like a whole other podcast.
Whoa. Yo, it gets to a point where it's like, yo, and actually this is one thing Eric Thomas said. He's like, yo, at this point, I gotta send you an invoice. Like, at this point, I gotta send you, like, yeah, at this point, like, I'm consulting you on, like, you know, at this point you gotta. So it's just crazy because, yo, this friend was like, and they were a dope human being. And then it's like they think that they're reciprocating. A lot of times, yo, people don't understand the reciprocating, and that's through a lot of different things. Like we were talking about recently, how we're going to talk on the Jersey Media Pod about like businesses, and are you on the team, are you not on the team because of what you're contributing, and like all that type of stuff. Like, people think
just by showing up,
so they may think it's, and the same thing even in friendships and all that, and the venting, like they could be calling you up, venting every 5 seconds and all that. That's cool, you know what I'm saying? That's what friends and family are for. But then it's like they think just because maybe they like did a little something for you, it's like it equates to the same thing. And it's like, yo,
it's like, I listened to you for like 2 hours. You listened to me for 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh man, I don't know, man. I was like, that's a lot of work. I mean, you know, maybe you should talk to somebody. And so I had to cut off some people who would like, they would tell me their stuff and then try to get some problem solving things. And then when it came to me asking for help and whatnot, it was always redirected to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, okay, I guess so you could do that to me, but yet when I act for it, it's not the same, right? Okay, no problem.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. And it's just like, yo, like, I start either feeling like your father, your fucking boyfriend, or something, or and or the therapist.
Yeah.
Without a degree.
But at the same time, you know, I do what I do, but at a certain minute point, that's when I'm gonna start to send that invoice.
I would love to see the reaction. Like, as you're talking, it's at that 2-hour point, and all of a sudden their phone buzzes.
We need to make a skit. Oh my God, that's a skit.
We're going to make a skit. Y'all heard it here first.
I would want to be the fly on the wall to see their reaction.
A PayPal invoice too.
What is this for? The therapy that you...
With the hourly rate on it. And breakdown and a convenience fee.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And New Jersey sales tax added on that bitch.
Right, with emotional stress tax. There's another.
Yo, where's my gunshot?
Yo, I know you're going for it.
He's like trying to press buttons.
I'm getting my gunshots.
Oh my God.
Oh no, it's sorry. The gunshots are not real gunshots. I'm not shooting real guns.
He's like, hold on.
Yeah. Nah,
just samples. Just samples.
Soundboard. I have a soundboard. I decided to not to use it because for some reason Zoom doesn't work well with my sound bites.
Oh.
Yeah, so when I say gunshots, that's the gunshots. I mean, I'm not really...
Add in post.
Yeah.
See it after.
Yo, we got to do that skit though. That's perfect. That is so perfect. But so yeah, design your happiness, people. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And spokesperson too.
I'm about to get paid this week. People are gonna get some invoices they even know that they're gonna be involved in. Not just gonna add it to the tattoo. And the moment he starts talking.
Oh yeah, she's a tattoo artist. You got
Oh really?
Listen.
Oh
I'm saying,
God, that's hilarious.
In the corner, be like, "Yo, I'm Nat, the therapist."
I've been trying to tell people. They'd be like, this is like so awesome. I love talking. Yeah, it's cheaper than therapy, right?
That's when you start shaking the tip drum. Start hitting it.
My dad went in a tip sign in my room with like a bag of money, and I was like, that up there. He was, I put that up there. You be giving people the work. I was like, thanks, Dad. I appreciate it.
They don't even come for tattooing. That's just the bonus. They really come for the therapy.
Because my hourly rate is cheaper than therapy. That's why.
It's like I just get tattoos every time, but I'm really there for the therapy.
I'm there. I'm gonna see you soon. I know I'm gonna see you next month. I'll see you soon. Okay.
Same time.
Same time.
You're gonna start seeing people with tattoos.
I know you're free on Thursdays. Like I got you.
They're gonna go in there and they're gonna be like, what do you want? I don't know, just
anything, just a line on my back. I don't even care. Just make sure it's like at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
But that's one of the biggest reasons why this podcast is this podcast. Because in all like jokes aside, there's so many things that are just therapeutic for people.
Yeah. That
really do heal them. Because I know damn sure you be healing mad people at work.
Yeah. Listen, I think that it's, there's so many things that are a legitimate form of coping mechanisms that are not harmful, right? Mm-hmm. That do feed us in a positive way, and then we're not harming other people around us indirectly, right? So it's like, why not? And especially I think even coming from like a place of self-harm from when I was younger, something like this is it definitely a legitimate form of coping. Some people go to the gym. Some people spend money on shoes. That's fine. As long as you're not saving your life savings.
I was hitting the gym in my garage. Like the moment I was going through some stuff, I'd never been so fit. Like they was like I was Batman at this point, just throwing up weights. I'm like, wow. And it's funny because you could tell when I'm upset or out of a breakup. Like I'm bigger after a breakup.
Your triceps are
my chest.
So if I ever want you just jacked, I just gotta call Quay.
Yeah, pretty much. Be like, call it quits for like 2 months and then get back with
I'm gonna call her. Be like, yo, it's summer.
It's summertime.
He needs abs.
We're concentrating on the abs this summer. Just break up. Let me tell you, them abs will be chiseled.
That's cold-blooded.
And then on the breakout, she'll be like, and you don't got no abs.
You're like, what?
They will really be in there. He'll be like, what?
He's like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot. That shit works, yo. When you getting fit for a female or for someone of the opposite sex, yo, let me tell you, the time I lost weight, the only time ever in my life is when I was going for a girl. She still ain't want me. I lost all that weight and I still
don't worry, I got you, Joe.
It wasn't worth it. She wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so where can people find your pod?
So they can find my podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and they can just look up Design Your Happiness Podcast with Marilee Blair. But they can follow me on Instagram at Marilee Blair _. That's MARILEEBLAIR _. And then I also have a business Instagram, so it's Design Your Happiness. At Design Your Happiness, and YouTube will come soon, and it'll just be my name, Marilee Blair. So then
okay, on YouTube. Okay. Hold on,
Yeah.
what were you saying? What about it? You could just tell me.
It's exactly what it looks like. Look at it closely.
I can't.
Nothing.
I'm blind.
Nothing. We didn't record it.
No, it's going through here. Yeah, it's going through here.
So you said you're recording on here versus here.
Yes.
Oh,
That's how when it's the interface.
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't record on there.
Oh, so it doesn't.
No.
So if you try to press record, it won't record on there.
No.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just. All right.
We're still all figuring this Zoom stuff out. It's been a mission, yo.
Skype was a mission for me because I use like OBS.
Yeah, when I do these, pretty much it's just the system to where it's picking up the quality from the microphone,
Right.
and putting it into
Right.
this. It doesn't actually
Got it.
record on there. Or it's pretty cool too. So if we had Audacity open right now,
Right.
we could be recording off Audacity.
Oh yeah, that's another way you could
That's
do it
another way,
instead. Yeah.
There's different avenues. We're still learning over here. So yeah. Also, last question. How many hours a day do you think? And Nat, you got to answer this too because you weren't there.
Ooh.
How many hours a day should you think people have fun time?
Fun time. And like
Anything.
That's what I said.
I was like, is this
No, it's not what you think it is.
I mean,
But whatever you consider as fun,
okay,
but it's
consider
just a
fun.
general question on fun, like just fun.
That's a separate time.
Ooh.
It's fun rated R.
I would say, I mean, depending on, I know everybody's schedules are different, but I like to start the day with fun because of exercise, because that's what I find fun. So I don't know, at least 5 hours
A day?
a day.
So
Yeah.
out of 24 hours, 5 hours is fun.
But are you including work in that, in like fun work?
No, Joe, stop. Just stop right there. No, just fun.
Hold on, let's-
No.
Yes, you are or no?
Yes, I am. Or like it could be like things that I define, that like, ooh, like now it's time to listen to this podcast or read this book. Like that's what I find happiness and fun. So I'd put that into my fun time. And then it's like, ooh, quality time with the love. Okay, ooh,
Yeah.
social time with the family. Like
Yeah.
it can be a mix depending on the day.
Okay.
What
So
about
5 hours, right?
yeah. At
Okay.
least.
Nat, what about you?
It's like sacrifice fun.
I'm not. No, listen. I'm hardcore labor. 8 hours for late hour, 8 hours for fun. Give me 8 hours for sleep and fun, and then I'll work for 8 hours. That's cool with me. I think that's pretty
So
fair.
how many hours for fun?
That's
a day?
like old school communist shit.
Nah.
No, listen.
So
Yeah.
8 hours for
Yeah.
fun?
Maybe
all
maybe I'll work for 10 hours. It depends. I used to do it back in the day, but 8 to 10 hours, work, and I need like 8 hours of free time for fun to do whatever I want to do.
So you have more fun than most.
I don't do it on a regular. I would. He's asking me what my ideal situation.
Oh,
Okay, so what do you do?
I get like 8 hours a week. That's like 1 hour every.
so
an
yours
hour
was
and
a
half.
week. So you.
Ideally, I would like.
So it's 1 hour a day for
That's like mine. That was what mine was.
on a day off where I have nothing else planned, I'm fucking having a great day.
That's exactly
I'm
what I
gonna
said.
enjoy the rest. I'm gonna enjoy the day to the best of my ability. But like on a work day, I probably have like realistically, because I don't count like work is fun, but I don't put it in that same category.
Oh.
because if not, I'm a workaholic. I will use that as an excuse to keep working. So I don't put it in there. I got to set separate side aside. Yeah.
Yeah. So without separating it, you say you
8 hours, man.
Well, that's what you would want.
Yeah, I would ideal.
But right now, currently only an hour.
I like 1 hour a day.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
2 hours.
That's like a snack. That's like a fun snack.
That's a fun snack.
You need a little more than that. You need like an entree. Like,
I can't even stop with an entree.
All right. I just wanted to ask because we talked about it on a previous podcast. I'll tag you in the clip. I just put it up on Instagram. We talked about it before, and they called me Plankton because I'm on an hour a day. just like that.
Plankton?
I never laughed so hard. I was like, wait, we called him Plankton for real?
That's hilarious.
They called me Plankton because I said an hour a day.
No. You said no. You didn't give an hour. You just said no because that's what I consider fun. I was like, no, Joe, that's work. Well, maybe if, it could be fun too. I was like, no, Joe, you're not having fun. He wasn't having fun. Work was his fun. I was like, but that's like defeats the purpose of what fun is.
I said a little bit of Instagram time, looking at like Insta thoughts.
Oh my God.
The Joe Budden podcast.
It's not fun.
The Joe Budden, like watching the Joe Budden pod and a little bit of that. That's my fun. That's probably, and if I divide that through the whole week, it's about a little less than an hour a day.
He's like equivalates to nothing. You don't give yourself no fun.
Oh no, that's an hour too though, so we on the same page.
But I'm saying that's what I get in a regular day. I wish I had more.
Oh, I
but
wish
that's
I had
okay.
more too.
I'm not like lacking any happiness right now. I'm like up to my eyeballs. But listen, when I retire,
the fun just goes straight up the.
I'm gonna be up to the tips of my hair and fun.
Yes.
Living my best life. Can't have no kids. It's gonna be all good. Mortgage paid. Come on.
Mine is 4 hours. If anybody was asking.
4 hours.
It's 4 hours. I actually get that. I actually get the fun, but it's actually sprinkled through the day. But it's like if we're talking straight, it's usually towards the end of the night.
Yeah. See, yeah.
Like after 8 or 9, like that's where the fun.
Fun person at all.
Who's a morning fun person? Nobody does that fun stuff in the morning.
I think kids are probably like the only.
Right. They're like the moment I remember when I was waking up in the morning, like the moment I crack of dawn, like as soon as I crack of dawn, like dusk, is it dusk? Or
I don't understand.
I never understand. But the moment it was morning time, I just watched TV and had fun like in the morning time on weekends. And then nighttime, I just like wind down, go to sleep.
Something happened.
Yeah, what happened? Something happened. Yeah,
when
adulthood.
Bills.
Yeah. Exactly. And Tay said 6 hours a day.
Oh, he's a gamer.
Yeah, 6 hours a day. I wish.
Oh, yeah.
He's a gamer. That's why I was like 6 hours. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do 6 hours though.
Like
sometimes.
In reality, like I wish people could leave their work at home and have like 8 hours of leisure time.
That would be beautiful.
Like seriously, like that's the bitch. I pay taxes leisure time. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we work hard, we pay these taxes. You guys deserve to have a nice chunk of your day that's dedicated to just doing what you would like to do in an ideal situation.
It should be mandatory.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I know, I'm all for it. I'm just like, right now.
As soon as we get,
right.
That state-funded healthcare.
Oh,
I know we should.
I'm just saying that'll free up a lot. That'll free up a lot of time.
Right. Because we pretty much work to live.
My dear sir, I cheers to that.
Yes.
Water.
Right.
But all right. So at the end of the show, what we usually do is just shout out something that you think is dope, something that you think not many people know about. Could be a book, could be a TV show, could be a store in your area, could be whatever you want, right? So I'll give you a minute to think about that.
Okay.
Also want to remind everyone to subscribe to the YouTube, all right? Because we got some really, really dope things coming to YouTube this summer or this fall, depending on how fast we work, all right? We got the web series, TV show that we're working on. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube because I might drop like a little surprise teaser trailer one of these days. Who knows? All right, so subscribe to the YouTube. Also, this podcast is brought to you by Audible, audibletrial.com/therapy without a degree. Also, right now, we got the fundraiser for the show as well, too. That's on the website, therapywithoutadegree.com. Also, we'll have the cash apps if anyone wants to donate towards anyone individually, or if you want to donate to the show at all. So we got that going on. Also, Zane, what are you shouting out for this week? What you got?
I'm shouting out. What did I watch? Oh, so I watched a movie on Shudder called Psycho Goreman, and it was such a ridiculous movie. It was like the gory version of Power Rangers. That's exactly what it was, because it was like
that sounds like a good
it was
Friends movie.
No, it really was a really funny movie. Like you know how some movies like, oh, this movie's look like I'm just gonna like exit out. No, it was actually hilarious, and it was and they didn't call it gore for nothing, and that's why it was pretty funny.
Was it like the movie Kick-Ass?
No. It was different. It was legit like Power Rangers, except with gore. Like that's what it was.
Adult Power Rangers.
Like adult Power Rangers. Yeah. Check out the trailer. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's called Psycho Goreman.
Psycho Goreman. All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Nat, you got anything?
Yeah, actually, I do, because I don't even think not the. I know my head got cold again. I'm a cold person. I'm sorry. I'm not cold-hearted. I'm just a cold person.
Cold-blooded.
Cut all y'all
I'm
off.
very warm. All my clients can contest to this. But so no, I want to give a super big shout out to Black Non-Believers, because they had their 10-year anniversary and they were raising money and they reached their goal of $20,000, which was awesome.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, and that's a lot for an organization. So shout out to Black Non-Believers and Mandisa Thomas over there, because they just did a seminar recently, and it's all live. You pay $5, you get everything. But if you go on YouTube, you can see all the seminars there for free as well. So it's great conversations, a lot of stuff that we talk about as well. So you guys should check it out.
That is dope. I'm with it. I got for y'all, what do I got? Oh, so it's a brand coming soon. JTM. Okay, so you can go right now. JTMbrand.com. JTMbrand.com. It is going to be a lifestyle, fashion, and beauty brand. You can check them out. It's actually, if anyone knows Jackie Tejeda, she's been working with us on the show. She was an assistant director for one episode, boom operator, right? So she's been working with us. So she is just launching her brand right now. If you just go on the site, it's still just coming soon. Yes, there we go. The JTMbrand.com. You can put your little email in there, right, to sign up for it. So, and they, it's actually really, really dope, because the brand it's her brand, but it's also really her kids' brand, right? So that's actually what JTM stands for, is the 3 letters for her kids' names.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's super, super powerful, because, her boys are young, and she's teaching them how to manage money, how to start a business, how to do graphic design, all that type of stuff. And they're like super, super interested. So it's really, really cool to see that, a 12-year-old boy, 15, not sure the exact ages, but it's like the fact that they're actually like creating their own brand and they're designing some of these things from scratch is like super, super dope. So check them out. What you got?
So I want to shout out the movie Soul by Disney. I watched it, and a lot of people were saying it's not really just for kids, it's really for adults because of the message of the movie. And I don't want to give anything away, but that movie, when I watched it, I cried. It spoke to my soul, and it just it's based on focusing about appreciating what we have today, our lives now, and instead of waiting for something to happen to be happy then, but about being happy now. And so that's, without giving it away, they just did an incredible job, and I just highly recommend it, because I feel like it was such an important time of all times right now to watch that movie, and just to see what they created to help people get re-inspired to enjoy their lives.
I think that was a super important movie. It was like exactly like
was awesome.
how you said. And after watching that movie, because I went in not watching a lot of the trailers and whatnot, so that when you actually finish watching the movie, it leaves you like breathless, like wow, like I need to like if you weren't pursuing your life, and if you thought you know what I'm saying, like that's the movie. It really motivate you to like actually go forth and do it. And I think I forgot the quote that Angela Bassett's character had said, but it was like when he was saying like I'm looking for the Pacific, and then the person said you're in the ocean, and then he's like, and then the whole point was what you're looking for is exactly what you're in. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for like a niche, but like this is life. Like enjoy it.
Yes. Now.
I have to watch it. It looks amazing. I've heard amazing. Since I don't watch TV, I haven't got a chance yet to really watch it. All I watch is like podcasts and shit.
But I have to. Hour of happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That caps the day. We'll add it. There's just a bonus 30 minutes in there, but like you'll be all right.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, you'll love it, Joe. It's so good.
Yeah, it looks super powerful. So I'll check that out. Y'all got anything else? Anything that the people need to know about before we close out?
Nope. Just check out Coffee and Critiques, my new podcast that I started last year in 2020.
Yeah, didn't you just drop the episode?
Yep, I just dropped the episode with the original Mortal Kombat 3 character, Sonya Blade. She's awesome. She's actually like a really dope artist, so definitely check her out. Carrie Ann Hoskins.
She's dope. I fangirled.
Yeah, right?
Nat, what about yourself? Anything?
No, I think it was a wonderful episode. Thank you so much for joining us. That was awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Like, this was amazing. You all are amazing. I love what you're doing. So thank you for just letting me be part of it.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we could do this in person sometime. You know what I'm saying? When we go out to Cali.
Yeah, you guys are all coming to San Diego, right? You're gonna
absolutely. Absolutely. For Comic-Con.
Forget the beach. Forget.
Right?
I just want to go. Can I go with my Power Ranger helmet?
Absolutely.
Have you seen the helmet?
Your helmet?
Yeah, have you seen it? The Power
No,
Ranger?
I haven't. I want to see it.
Hold on.
Okay, I gotta see this.
Hold on.
Is this the original? Like our generation of Power Rangers?
Yes,
right?
this is the original.
Okay. Oh!
with the non-moving mouth. That's what makes it.
That's what makes it really official.
It's official.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Did someone give you that?
He did.
Yeah, I gave it. That was the gift.
That is the nicest gift. Best Power Ranger.
It actually like goes on you too, like
and clips on.
Really?
Yeah.
It actually fits. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a full size helmet.
Wow, that is the best helmet I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. But all right, so it's been fun. Adios, people. Therapy without a degree.
Peace. Have a good one.